George, to George. What's going on with all the Georges today? Woo! Oh man, but this George, we don't care about what this one got to say. But boy, this news, I'm telling you, they are shaking out their shoes, throwing their hat on the floor. And they got to be honest with themselves, man. They got to face reality that it's gonna be a landslide come November, boy. Oh. You seen it at the fundraiser 3 weeks ago, didn't you, buddy? It isn't a cheap fake, a deep fake. Elderly abuse. Oh, this isn't the same Joe Biden that I seen years ago. Me and my patrons, we've been seeing it. We're not surprised. But it just makes it really breaks. It's sad to see all the cleanup, the covering up, to be lied to, pulling the binder out, can't answer a simple question. Boy, it's just been a complete. We are complete laughing stock, man. So no, this news doesn't surprise us. As we see them just complete freaking out, panicking, melting down, shaking out their shoes, y'all. And we're here for it. We don't get them out of here, it's just gonna be a Trump landslide in November. And that's a threat to our democracy. Our sweet old democracy. Whoa, boy. Oh man, I can't wait for November. I'm gonna crack open a cold one. I know a lot of y'all celebrating right now, cracking open cold ones. Oh boy. But hey, as you can see, we're back in the studio. Yes. And we're gonna get this thing turned around. New things are coming. The power is on, you guys. And I want to thank everybody that showed so much love and support with the kind donations, the emails, the comments, the DMs, all the love, you guys. And right now it is crazy out there. Like, you walk outside, you hear ambulance, salute to our first responders. People are still struggling, man. Kids, elderly, it was just this Texas heat. When you have no power for almost 3 days, in this Texas heat, man. Oh, it was accidents happening right in front of me because of the lights not being on and people wasn't stopping. People are panicking, rushing, running the light, running stop signs. So it's just crazy, you guys, crazy out there. So we are recovering from the hurricane, and I want to send my love, my condolences out there to the family and friends. People that we lost during this time. As you see on the news, you see everywhere, the death rate is rising over here. But boy, man, I want to thank y'all for all the love and support, man. We are A-OK. The family is fine. Everything's fine. We're getting the show back up and running. So let's go and get into it, y'all. Boy, it's been a very crazy couple of days, man. But I'm glad that we got to, still fight through. We got to bring the show into the vehicle. And now we're back in the studio, man. We're back and everything is back. We're getting back on track. But oh boy, they said that he retracts his Biden endorsement. We're not going to win. Yeah. Telling y'all, man, it's gonna be a huge landslide come November, and I'm ready for it, man. I know a lot of y'all are already celebrating right now.
President Biden will appear on the world stage with our NATO allies. Just minutes from now, we'll take you there when he does. And this is all as he faces new calls to step aside, now from a growing number of frustrated Democrats publicly warning that Biden is going to lose to Donald Trump come November. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany. Here's my co-host, Emily Campagno. Also joining us, Fox & Friends First co-host, Carly Shimkus, Fox Business anchor and co-host of The Bottom Line on Fox Business, Dagan McDowell, and Fox News contributor and host of The David Webb Show on SiriusXM Patriot, David Webb. Well, top Democrat lawmakers, allies, and now even George Clooney, a big fundraiser for President Biden, are pressuring Biden to get out of the race. Clooney just out with this bombshell guest essay in the New York Times. He writes, quote, "It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Effing Deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020.
Oh, Clooney. Oh, Clooney. Oh, cry in, what my brother Doug said, cry in your soy milk. Oh, buddy.
He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate. We are not going to win in November with this president. On top of that, we won't win the House, and we're going to lose the Senate.
Oh, yeah, man, we know. We know, brother. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Landslide. Throw baby oil down the slide. Patriots, we're going to throw baby oil on that slide and just slide on down.
This is George Clooney. He was at a fundraiser, hosting it with Biden just 3 weeks ago. And top Democrats go even further, warning that Biden will lose in a landslide.
The same fundraiser you seen Obama had to drag Joe off. The same fundraiser. Unbelievable.
The president just doesn't seem to he hasn't come to grips with it. He's not winning this race. If you just look at the data and talk to people around the country, political people around the country, it's more likely that he'll lose by a landslide than win narrowly this race.
We have to be honest with ourselves. It's not just the White House at stake. And all of these seats are going to be very, very closely contested. So the top of the ticket is essential.
Just like in 2020, when everyone said Joe Biden's the guy, let's get behind him, I think we need a different choice if we're going to be able to beat Donald Trump.
I still think I'll stand by my thing that he won't run. But if he does, we're just making a idiotic choice. We're losing. We're not winning.
Donald Trump is on track, I think, to win this election and maybe win it by a landslide and take with him the Senate and the House.
You know, Emily, I heard David Axelrod say yesterday that he can't find or think of Democrats who are willing to go into Biden's living room and communicate to them face to face some of the things that we're hearing on TV or mostly behind the scenes. You can't get closer, most likely, to the Biden living room than a New York Times op-ed that's probably on the coffee table with George Clooney, one of your big fundraisers, saying it's time to go, Joe.
That's right. I have to point this out at the risk of being obvious, but George Clooney is a mega donor. He's not only a mega donor, but he's also the top biller for fundraising. He is who this president has been trotting out since, by the way, before 2020 to say, hey, everyone, fall in line, donate as much as you can to my campaign. The thing that's notable about this, I want to make 2 points. Number one, that this is indeed a very, very public breaking of the guards, right? This is not a off-the-cuff answer to a reporter. This is not a text that was leaked. This is an op-ed that was published. If there's not a call to arms in this, then I don't know what is. And the second thing is that the question remains, who encouraged him to do this? Was it George Clooney himself? I wonder. I doubt it. So I think behind the scenes, there's or people that are far more persuasive, far more leading behind the scenes that said, hey, George, we need you now to do this. But the bottom line is, what now? As he says, he goes on to say, let's hear from Wes Moore, Kamala Harris, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, Andy Beshear, J.B. Pritzker, in that order. Let's agree, he says, that the candidates not attack one another, but in the short time we have, focus on what will make this country soar. Then we can go into the DNC and figure it out. And final point, if all of a sudden this is a catastrophe and now everyone is seeing the light, well, what about the president governing? Where was his calls for him to step out as we've all lost servicemen and women and Americans under Biden's watch?
You know, Carly, we hear often from White House, from top officials, he's healthier than the rest of us. Younger aides can't keep up with him. Well, what we were just looking at a moment ago was images from a fundraiser 3 weeks ago. And George Clooney is basically saying to all the White House talking points we're hearing, that's not true. I saw him face to face. It's the same guy on the debate stage.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Cheap fake, deep fake. All the American people, us patriots, we're stupid. And what you guys are seeing, it's not real. Yeah, it's edited. It's a cheap fake. It's a deep fake. Yeah. Just straight up lie after lie, clean up, cover up. But like I tell y'all, man, the truth must shine in the light, man. The truth must shine in the light. and they're in for a rude of awakening. Gonna slide down that slide come November, baby.
He said in the op-ed, the debate essentially was not a one-off. I saw this during the fundraiser, one of the biggest fundraisers of this election cycle. And something that I was thinking about before this op-ed came out is that, remember when you were younger and you were too afraid to dive into the pool because the water was cold, so you walked in slowly and you were miserable every step of the way? That's kind of like how Democrats have been since the debate, where no one with real political sway has dove into the Joe Biden has got to go pool. So the whole party is miserable and doesn't really know where to go. Now we've talked a lot about how celebrity endorsements don't have really sway, but a celebrity opposition is like a totally new thing. And I don't, what will the fallout be of this? I mean, Hollywood isn't Capitol Hill. Sometimes there is very significant crossover. It could provide cover for other big donors, big celebrities to say, you know, Joe Biden, you must step aside because of all the really well-written points that George Clooney gave in his op-ed. The other thing that I thought was very notable today was Nancy Pelosi. When she was asked, would you like Joe Biden to run for re-election? And her response essentially was, I want Joe Biden to do what he wants to do. That's like a very polite way of saying something when you think in your head about the big hook and you're yanking Joe Biden off the stage.
We have that.
He's got to go. Okay, yeah, let's watch it.
We have that. That's exactly what it was. I mean, I was as stunned as you were, Carly. Here she is this morning on Morning Joe.
Does he have your support to be the head of the Democratic ticket?
As long as the president it's up to the president to decide if he is going to run.
He has said he has made the decision. He has said firmly this week he is going to run. Do you want him to run?
I want him to do whatever he decides to do.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Yeah, she looked like she just sobered up a little bit from that last take. It was scotch and whiskey and boy, it might be a little left in the system. Not too sober, but yeah, it was scotch, tequila, cognac, oh man, it was bad.
And that's the way it is. Whatever he decides, we go with. I think it's really important, and I would hope everyone would join in, to let him deal with this NATO conference. This is a very big deal. Over 30 heads of state are here. He is the host of it, and that means not just hosting, it means orchestrating the discussion and setting the agenda, and he's doing so magnificently. And I've said to everyone, let's just hold off. Whatever you're thinking, either tell somebody privately, but you don't have to put that out on the table until we see how we go this week.
Huge deal. Jake Sherman said it was like a bomb going off on Capitol Hill. She says, I will wait for Biden to decide. One problem, Biden has decided.
What's Joe going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? What's he going to do? Well, here's my answer. I am running and going to win again.
Are you confident you can serve another 4 years?
I'm positive.
I don't think anybody's more qualified to be president or win this race than me.
The bottom line here is that we're not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere.
David, here's what's remarkable. She told CBS she had been misrepresented by the media.
Right.
Okay. So she puts out a new statement. I'll just read you the first sentence. Speaker Pelosi fully supports whatever Biden decides to do. He's decided. That's exactly what you said on MSNBC this morning.
Boy, passive aggressive much? That's pretty much what it is. By the way, can I go back to Clooney for a second?
Sure.
It's his wife, Amal. That is the one to watch here. This is a woman who, with the United Nations Tribunal, the International Criminal Courts, all of this and more. She's the power player with the globalists and all of that group, the Hague, et cetera. So that's the one to watch. And their concern is that while they're winning in European nations with the left, if they lose in America, they get a setback. Now, to Pelosi is the best at saying in Washington what's innocuous, but means more. And what she did there was she deflected and distracted. The president said it. She's playing it safe. She's an elitist. She's a speaker emeritus. She doesn't care. She's going to make a stock trade or something someday that we don't know about. It's what she is. So I don't put much on her. I put more on the people behind the scenes, like Amal, like the globalists. George Clooney is the actor. Everybody knows him. The name is famous. But when you look what's behind him with his wife and you see who's behind her, you see the agenda that is the leftist agenda.
Dagan, there was a stunning comment that happened as we were coming to air. We've all seen the George Stephanopoulos suggesting he can't serve another 4 years. ABC News said that is not our position. George said I shouldn't have answered that question. We've all seen
George after George, man. All the Georges coming together. Oh, man, it's going to be a landslide come November, man.
This was Chuck Todd. This is the first I've ever heard this. He is talking about a senior cabinet official. Remember, cabinet officials can invoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president of the United States. Listen to what he said. A senior cabinet official told him not 2 days ago, 2 years ago.
Going to out the cabinet secretary.
Right.
But I had a cabinet secretary 2 years ago.
Right.
Okay. 2 years ago. All out of the blue asked me, do you really think he can't run again like this? And I said, well, you have more interaction with him than I do. And they said, I don't have a lot of interaction with him. This is a pretty senior cabinet secretary. So, and this was 2 years ago.
The cabinet doesn't have interaction, and they were questioning his mental acuity 2 years ago? Soldiers died over those 2 years.
Yes, and I find what the media is doing now, talking about this, and George Clooney coming out and saying, oh, you should get out of the way, to be just the depths of disgusting. It is vile that they would come out because they're doing it in their own self-interest. The media and these celebrities, they're the grossest cocktail of arrogance and insecurity and ego, where they don't want to be the last one standing up with Joe Biden. George Clooney was at that fundraiser where President Obama had to walk Joe Biden off the stage. He didn't.
I told y'all.
Say anything then. He didn't stand up and say it's not misinformation, which is what was coming out of Karine Jean-Pierre's mouth.
Throw the binder out the window. You know, lie after lie after lie. But you know what? Everybody sees it. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know? Cover up, cleaning up. And we know that the job's on the line. Like we said, she might as well just go and resign. What we seen with Jen? Yeah. Boy.
He didn't say anything when I was sitting on this very sofa a year ago saying that Joe Biden is cognitively addled, that he is suffering what all of our family members do. He didn't say anything when I sat here and said Joe Biden will not be a self-caring adult at the end of another term. He said nothing. They only care about their own egos, and they usually care about people in power paying attention to them. Now their egos have superseded that. They are stuck with Joe Biden, period. They did not stand up for the American people and the Democrat voter. Joe Biden's not going anywhere. You're stuck with him.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I do not care about the political repercussions of this. I do not care if Biden's the nominee or not. I deeply care about 13 lost at the Abbey Gate. I deeply care about 2 wars on Joe Biden's watch. And I deeply care that a senior cabinet secretary, questioned the mental acuity 2 years ago. We need a select committee on mental acuity. We need it today. Come on, Republicans. All Americans should demand that.
Hey, boy. Boy. win after win after win. I keep telling y'all, man, these next 3 months, these next couple of days, be ready. You know, as irrelevant as some of these people are, it's still win after win after win. And they know that landslide is coming, man. They are shaking out their shoes, you know, knocking over stuff, mad, running into a wall, throwing their hat on the floor. Because it's coming. It is coming. I love you guys. God bless you all and your families. Thank y'all for stopping by, man. Let me know what y'all think of this, man. Comment down below. Comment down below. You know, but George Clooney, just clueless. Just clueless and irrelevant, I tell you. Boy. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.